July 14th, 2026. We're going to go over the trades that you could have taken today. But who am I? That's just me. Here's the market open. And we at market open are given our permission to take what side? Long side. 1 hour MACD, 1 hour momentum has a long bias. So we're looking for the 15-minute to cross over into the green. When does that happen? It happens here. See that? So the market opens and the 15 is not expanding with us. The 15 is going against us, so we don't trade. We wait, check back in a little bit later. Okay, nothing. Don't trade. Check back in a little bit later. No, 15 still not going with us. So we wait until the 15 is going with us, which happens right here. 5 minute, beautifully expanding. 15 is now crossing over. And this, my friends, was that first opportunity. This was when it was all happening. The 5 had already crossed over. The 15 was on its way. The 1 hour was telling you we've been waiting for a long all day. And this candle was beautiful. Fat, heavy buying candle bouncing right off of the 42 blue EMA. And that's what it's all about. A 1-to-1, that would have been a good win. On a 1 minute chart, if you were to be on a 1 minute execution time frame, would have looked a little bit different. You would have entered here, so you would have gotten a slightly better deal. And it still would have achieved a 1-to-1 by hitting the profit target right here at about 5 to 6 minutes from the entry. So that was a good win for today. That was the first setup for today. We're going to highlight that one. And so the time, it happened at 10:05. That was the first entry of today on a 1 minute chart. Now we're going to be on a 2 minute chart for the rest of this video though. We're waiting for another expansion in the 5 minute, which means we want to wait a couple hours for the 5 minute to go through a momentum cycle. See this momentum cycle here? This happens every day in every stock, not just NASDAQ. So we're waiting for it to come back and start expanding with what bias? Our long bias, our 1 hour buying long momentum. And we want the 15 to be kind of going with us as best as possible. We want it preferably to be crossed over into the green, but at the very least, we want it to be going with us. Does that happen? Still in the red. 15 still in the red. Look, 15 is still in the red, but it's now about to cross over, so that's good. So this is where it gets a little bit sketchy, because now this is about to cross over and the 5 is dying down. We're losing strength on the 5. So this entry right here is interesting because we have the reset in momentum, down, reset to the upside, which is the side that we're playing towards. So this happens at 12:50 today, and yes, it would have been a win, a 1-to-1 win, yes. However, this was not advisable, and I didn't take this trade because the 5 minute was dying off and the 15 hadn't fully crossed over yet, and the 5 minute was just not going with us. So I don't take those trades. So now we conclude that you can just look forward in time. There was no more setups for today. We only had one trade today. It was this one right here. That was the one trade we had today, which was a win. And we're going to go over the next trade that you could have taken, but it wasn't a full alignment, okay? And that happened after the 15 had crossed and is expanding. The 5 minute is doing what? It's expanding. Everything is beautiful. This would have been an entry, but it was weak, and that would have been a loss. And then that next entry would have been here. And that could have been a loss as well. And then the very next entry, which was here, that would have been a win. But we don't trade these, so these are, don't even, ignore all of this, because the 1 minute or the 1 hour is still in the green, so we shouldn't be taking any shorts anyway. I'm just going over with you the momentum alignments. Now, had you entered these trades as price retraced to the 42 and the 84 EMA, now all of a sudden, you are starting to make a lot of good money, because you enter your positions here and expect there to be a short move. Enter your position here at the yellow or blue 42 and expect a short to happen. Enter here at the blue or yellow and expect a short to happen. Why are you expecting the shorts to happen? Because look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute momentum heavily going downward. 15 has already crossed, building downward. So anyway, that's just what my thoughts are on price action for today. We had an interesting day in the market. Let's look at the daily chart so we can get a gauge of what to expect for tomorrow. Here's the daily. Now, with regard, and then we're going to look at SPY. With regards to momentum, we've got no clarity, and the volume in the market on a daily basis is not building either. We're dying off. There's no clarity here. This is a true consolidation. Beautiful consolidation is occurring. And then let's look at the SPY on a daily. Here's the SPY on a daily. We are above the 20 EMA or 20 MA moving average. We're above the 50. So in terms of the SPY, we are cruising. We're cruising upward, and we're going to see something. We're going to see some more continuation. We're cruising. NASDAQ, not so much. So all in all, when you consider both the NASDAQ and the SPY, tomorrow we have a bullish bias. Our MACD for the SPY is in the green, but our MACD for the TQQQ, our NASDAQ is in the red. So even though we have a bullish, we're really 50-50. It's not a very strong bias. It could go either way tomorrow. And I will see you in the next one.